What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 212 of the JMA podcast. Today, we are joined by Corey Fernandez. But before we get started, let's welcome my co host to the stage, Jeremy Fairhurst. Jeremy, my man, we've had a long weekend together. You joined me for Rolling Stoners. How'd you like it in New York?
New York was awesome as always. Thoroughly enjoyed going to Rolling Stoners again, seeing all the competition, being able to see you compete a little bit. Always enjoyed seeing some new scenery and getting at Paducah, so it was dope.
Absolutely, my man. What did you think of the matchups at Rolling Stoners?
Man, they had some nice ones. Man, I saw a couple familiar faces. I'm still trying to learn everybody's names, but I was definitely coming in and seeing a couple guys from before that had competed. There was a couple matches that really stood out to me. The main event was pretty dope. I saw them pull out the wrestling singlets, and I was like, okay, all right, well, I already knew what was up. So, yeah, man, it was a good time.
All right. All right. Well, without further ado, let's welcome our main guest to the stage, Corey Fernandez. Corey, my man, this has been a long time coming. You reached out not too long ago, I think after we had Jay Romes on, and we've been excited to have you, my man. How have you been?
Great, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, as soon as I saw Jay Romes, I'm like, that's my guy. He's got the blueprint in terms of, you know, pathway and like professionalism in jiu-jitsu. So having examples like that is great to have, but you got to also get out there and do the thing.
Has Jay Romes been a little bit of an inspiration for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been at it for a long time, and his journey was something of like personal, his personal growth and personal development. I could definitely resonate with that, as well as like the adversity of maybe not everything coming right away. You got to be patient for the right things in life and like what's quality over, everything coming at once.
Oh no, for sure, my man. And you keep busy yourself, just like him. You just recently, I think you said you quit your job at the coffee shop. You were working for a while. Um, how did you managing a coffee shop and being competitive in jujitsu? I know personally that was a nightmare for me. How did you manage it?
Yeah, I mean, every day it was just like itching. You're itching to be out there, but it was easy to also have the right people around the area. Like my coffee shop was the next street over from Marcelo Garcia's gym. So one day I was like talking to a blue belt that I had met at a class that I dropped in at, and then Mateus Denise was just like walking by the gym, and he like came in to say what's up, and I was like just over the moon to have someone in your world that you've been studying for so long just organically pop up at somewhere that had nothing to do with jujitsu. You know what I mean? But it's New York, so like anything could happen. Uh, but
New
yeah, it,
New York
it
is New York is crazy because you really
yeah.
do meet the most interesting people at the most interesting and random of times. It's really the place to be.
Yeah, so like my uncle's cafe that I was working at, it had a dating app connected to it. So hosting events, like we had the creator of Sex in the City on. I was like working a little bit that event, but otherwise it's like you're just doing what you got to do, and it was a position to where you can make so much networking, and it ended up paying off because now without my knowledge, like Mateus Denise, he was planning to open a gym in the same town as my current gym, Ambush Jiu Jitsu. But that was like, he knew that before he even met me. So it was just kind of the stars aligning to where, you go to the right place, you give the right effort, you know what I mean? It could pay off.
For sure. Now you've bounced around. Now you mentioned Marcelo's, and I think you mentioned before we hopped on here, you went to Unity as well. Did you train at Marcelo's?
Yeah, I've only gone a handful of times at this point, just like in the time that I was at the coffee shop. I also got into a bike accident while I was out there in New York, being the crazy place that it is. I, got sideswiped by a city bike. But after that, I was just like, popping in here and there and just getting acquainted with the people over there, and also, just taking in the whatever the city had to offer. Because honestly, I was definitely a white belt in New York City knowledge at that time, so just had to get out of my bubble.
Well, fortunately for you, you're right. Like you're right on the cusp of New York being in New Jersey, um, having that immediate access. I tell Jeremy all the time, like I go down to the city just to roll and train every so often, whenever I can,
Yeah.
and it's like the caliber of athlete down there, I feel like is so much better than the caliber of athlete in other areas, just because it's so dense and you have so many gyms on top of each other, and then you have so many legends in those gyms alone. It pushes out, I think, a better caliber of athlete being surrounded by such greatness all the time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you got what do you got? Unity down there. You have Marcelo's. You got 10P NYC. You got Jew Leave right now. Hold on. Who else is
Yeah.
down
Then
there?
you got the studio, the one with Albino Preto. They're kind of, they have like a flagship gym or something like that out there. Studio X, I think that's what it's called. That's like another one. But yeah, oh, and then you go out to the boroughs too, and then each borough has some killer gyms too. So they all flock into the city. I only went to the Unity HQ one time. My girlfriend's actually a white belt at Unity in Jersey City, so I pop in there as well, here and there. But it's really just wherever the training's calling me. I kind of just show up as long as it works for my schedule. But now I'm gearing my work schedule to be more catered to jiu-jitsu and combat sports, because not only I've been coaching grappling for a little bit now, but I've been also coaching kickboxing, boxing, you name it. I'm certified in kickboxing as well as personal training, so I'm just trying to be as versatile as possible with things like that.
Did you sorry, trying to find my notes here. When you were training for the New York State qualifier, what kind of what kind of situation did you have going on there at that time, and like how much training did it take to get up there?
So for New Jersey, yeah, it was for New Jersey. The tournament, I was lucky enough I started my freshman year of high school in wrestling, but I was emotionally mature enough to handle losses, handle frustrations in that kind of growth that you need to make, and also lucky enough to have a program that really stressed conditioning and fundamentals to where you're positionally sound, you and then everything flashy comes down the line. That was kind of like their philosophy with it. But it was the first time before jiu-jitsu that I've noticed, like, oh, there's a system to what I'm learning, as opposed to just go to beat everyone that's put in front of me, which you learn that aspect of it over time as well.
Now, at what point did you get injured? Meniscus surgery and a spinal injury?
Yeah, so I was drilling like inside trip takedowns in in training. It was like it was in my coach's basement, and I was just drilling a falling weight kind of takedown, and with things like that, it just can create freak accidents. I ended up tearing my own meniscus, and then spent probably like over a year, and it was a year and at least 3 months that I didn't know what was going on, and then once I knew what was going on, then I scheduled surgery, went through PT and all that stuff. So it took a long time for me to actually get through, you know, like a week of training, let alone months and training camps and all that stuff. But then, right after I got recovered from the knee surgery, on my way to training, I got into a car accident. I was like parked at a red light, and Perth Amboy, New Jersey. I don't know if you know, doesn't have a lot of insured
Oh.
drivers, or or just people that are, I guess, good at driving. I don't want to generalize it here,
Is
but
the
my
is
experience.
is insurance optional in New Jersey?
No, it is yeah,
Oh,
no insurance, no registration, just one of those
it's one of those situations. I got
one of
you.
those situations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
But
why I don't. This is why I don't drive in New York.
right. Well, New
I don't.
York, I guess you got more mountains, so I'd be worried about those 75-mile-per-hour mountains that I have to drive on in the winters and stuff. That's crazy.
Dude, honestly, so we go up to Donnybrook's fight promotion up in Barry, Vermont quite frequently. We went up last winter actually, and we had the option of staying the night or driving back, and it was a light snow when we left. Keyword
Like,
was a light snow. That was a nightmare drive.
yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. I mean, if you know how to drive in the snow up here, you're fine.
Yeah, and if you have four-wheel drive in your car, I've had both sides of it where I'm hydroplaning and I end up like Mario Karting into a barrier. But then it's like, I had a Jeep. I had a 98 Jeep. Now I have a truck. So for now I have the truck. I'm going to be safe in the winters.
I got a beat up ass Impala with no power steering.
Oh, nice.
It gets me through. It got me through quite a
Yeah.
few.
Oh yeah, bro.
But damn.
Yeah, so coming back from the spinal injuries was very that was more tough than the knee surgery, really, because it's affected in anything. Also, I was trying to gain muscle mass at the time. Shout out Westside Barbell. I was like following that protocol with Rutgers wrestler John Prosnansky. John Prosnansky, his dad, they were both running the workouts at Skiba's gym in Carteret, New Jersey. And if you're on the East Coast, there's not many gyms like this one. They're like a iron playground, you know what I mean? So spending at least a few months out there was
Okay.
was good.
Where are they located at?
Carteret, New Jersey, but
Okay.
yes, Skiba's gym on Instagram. It's not for everyone. It's not like
I'm gonna have to put them on
polished.
the list.
What's that?
I'm gonna have to put them on the list.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they have certain grapplers follow this out in Ohio. This is where the actual gym is, Westside. But Dante Leone, Max Hansen, all those guys, and then a couple of fighters too. But it's really designed to create explosivity and also fortify your body, and I needed at the time. But it's not going to be for everyone, to go to a gym like that.
What was it like coming back from all these injuries and competing for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I did. Oh yeah, so my first competition back, I actually popped my rib because I wasn't. I was also working as a heating and air conditioning, like HVAC helper. So at the time, didn't have the best lung capacity, didn't have the best conditioning at the time. I was breathing in insulation instead of like running hill sprints. But besides that, like also I was bumped up 2 weight classes. So instead of competing at like 155, I was competing at like 185.
Oh
But
no.
either way, like had a round robin or a best of 3 matchup with it was eight. I think he was like 17 or 18-year-old purple belt. So the kid's probably been doing it for a long time. Very sharp. I forgot it. I forgot his full name, but Ben, I think was his first name. But I heel hooked in the first round. So just for the record, if it was a tournament, I would have advanced. But he beat me by points the next one, and then I popped my rib in our third of final matches, and I was just like, I'm tapping. I'm not gonna further whatever the hell just happened here. So a loss is a loss. I'll still
Have
take
you
it.
have you ever competed with a popped rib?
Yeah, since then I on the same. So all right, I'll also get into like the Ambush Open lore. So like the first Ambush Open, I was selling cars, and I left that job on a Saturday, which, if you know anything about the car industry, is like the most popular day. The place was full, and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I left, went to my gym, and helped run the first event. Fast forward to the second event, I was about to help run it, but then I was like, okay, we need some competitors. I feel a little good right now, and I'm also broke, so let me try to get some money. So it's a similar mindset for the finishers, Money in the Bank, going on July 26th.
So Oh, I was about to ask. When is the Ambush? But that you saying that's August 26th coming up?
So I'm competing in the finishers Money in the Bank in that's July 26th. That's at Finishers HQ, and then Ambush we're aiming for our fourth event to take place like middle to late August. So we're just finalizing a date, and we'll get that out.
All right, that's awesome. Are you guys gonna be doing a stream, or is that gonna be a spectator only event?
No, so we did a stream for the last one. We used Combatch and Rose Hunter Productions. So that's who I'm working with now. But we're gonna most likely use them again to stream and just build that platform as a flagship platform for local regional tournaments. And I think we have HCS under that already in the library, as well as a Path Invitational. That's another one that's being added.
How'd you get into combat?
So the guy, Brad, who runs that, Brad Yeager, he's been around our gym and just all around jiu-jitsu for, since I've known jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? He would come to our, my coach's basement. And then, actually, funny story, the first time I ever met Brad, he's an excellent guitar player as well. So he was playing Right Into by Tool. And like I've never even heard the song before. I prefer his version after hearing the Tool version. It was just like a magical time where for some reason, everyone just knew the assignment to start singing and like background sing as he was singing the lyrics and stuff. But yeah, so that was the first time I met Brad. Now he runs all these productions. He's worked on a lot of productions for jiu-jitsu. So I just see the opportunity to be more of a sales and marketing consultant, as well as, it's easy when it's a product you believe in to sell. And I've sold, used cars. Even when I was selling used cars, I sold 15 cars my first month, and then I left. You know what I mean? It was just not a world for me.
Do you? Oh well, that's okay. That's interesting. Then, do you like the competitive side more, or do you like the production side more?
It's both. Well, I enjoy the production and professional side, where that can lead into after I'm done competing, and it just proves that, like, if I can start doing that now, just wait till I actually have these bigger platforms behind me, But otherwise, I have so much fire in me that I can't stay away from competing, and it's just like I was just in Paris, bro, and the subway, like I was so ready to just start an open mat right in the subway. But a felon, I'll definitely I'll become a felon out there.
You didn't think about stopping by any of the French gyms out there?
Actually, I was offered the opportunity to teach a no yi class at Gracie Baja HQ in Paris. So
Okay.
that's on my Instagram as well. I was able to show some wrestling after rolling in the gi with their purple belt instructor who also does MMA. I believe he was like 5-1, beast of a wrestler. But they, I don't know if he wanted to just head out early or they actually like saw, they saw I could help them out. But I was able to show them some American wrestling that I learned in high school, actually, because it's like stuff that sticks with you. You know what I mean? You stick with what works, and then you kind of discard what doesn't serve you at the end of the day.
That's fair. Kind of like the Jeet Kune Do thing that
Yeah,
they
that's
try
it.
to emphasize there.
That's it.
Oh,
But yeah, otherwise, I was trying to train at another gym. I'm gonna let that gym remain nameless, but they had some interesting rules. They were like, no white belts can train there, and my girlfriend's a white belt. Like, no white belts from other gyms could train.
oh,
I get that, but I was a purple belt. I was one of the only purple belts in the gym. Like, maybe you can
makes
usually make
makes
an
some wiggle
exception.
room. Yeah.
So he was like, you can train, and I was already done untying my belt by the time he was saying sorry. But
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna train without my girl. That's kind of messed up if she's my host there.
Yeah, no, you don't. You definitely don't want to just leave her hanging.
Nah, we got some good training anyway, and worked out because I was able to teach, so it's cool. Oh, I got to roll with a purple belt from Lachlan's gym in Australia. Like, it's funny enough, and he was a fucking tank, bro. Like, he was hitting me with like bulldog chokes, and I was like, I saw that coming, bro, because I saw him roll with like 3 or 4 people and hit them all with bulldog chokes before that.
Have you had an opportunity to train with any of the great jiu-jitsu athletes, or
So
or like any seminars with like say Eddie or the Mieo
yeah, for
brothers?
sure. Like, so Robert Deagle was someone that was in the basement a lot, and he kind of really opened the doors, along with my coach, to leg locks and stuff. As a wrestler, that's like deadly combo to have everything in store. It's like, even if you know what I have, just wait to see what else I have. You know what I mean? Like, because I even myself, I'm always learning every day. So even on the days that I can't make it to the gym, I've always had mental reps. Even when I'm at the coffee shop, when I'm at the car dealership, when I'm working HVAC, I'm always watching jiu-jitsu. Like, that was always something I knew was going to be serving me in the long run. So I never got my mind off of it.
Do you find you obsess on the videos at all?
In terms of,
Like you're saying you're watching a lot of jiu-jitsu. Do you like watch like a lot of the tournaments and all that stuff? Like to
yeah,
kind
for
of
sure.
train?
Yeah, absolutely. So especially like an event like AIGA that just happened, I have like in my notebook, I have pages of notes on every single dual meet that happens. So I really have just been approaching jiu-jitsu a little different in terms of, approach it how you'd approach the rest of your life if you want to be a professional in something, you know.
So as someone who's got ADHD and is very what do you call it? I don't plan. I don't plan. I
Yeah.
I just kind of do. Um so my question is like when you're watching jujitsu and you're taking those notes, right? Like what are you looking at and what specifically are you taking notes on that someone else could take away from this?
Well, I would say that I have multiple sessions on like one match, because I'll say, okay, what's person A doing, and then there's person B. So if I'm approaching each side, I know what they wanted to do in each interaction. You know what I mean? So you kind of have counters as well as execution to moves, and like how to apply it at the same time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you noting like the movements? Are you just noting
Yeah,
the
so
intent?
a lot of the time I'm also familiar. If it's someone I'm familiar with, then it's easier to see like how they're applying their game. Say like someone like Junie at an event like AIGA, or someone like like Giancarlo Bodoni, Isaac Michelle. If you want anyone that you can find footage on, it's easier to do that. But if you're just looking at jiu-jitsu subjective, where it's just person A and person B, you don't know, like, especially at an event like that, it's in Kazakhstan, it has a lot of Russian fighters. I've never heard of most of those guys. So I have to take it for techniques and kind of, you know, get rid of any idea you have about people's games, and then just see what they're doing in the moment. Same thing, it's like my game, I find things in the moment and focus on winning the moment. That's really the most important thing in my mind when when I'm training and when I'm competing, especially when you're competing, because when you're training, you also want to win maybe a defensive moment where, say, you had to take a loss in position to get to that moment. You know what I mean? So say you're in mount, you're drilling mount escapes. It's similar to that, to where it's like, okay, I have to take a little bit of a loss to understand how to get back from this deficit.
Has anything you've learned in jujitsu kind of been able to help you or have you been able to apply any of the lessons from jujitsu that to your life to kind of take you in the right direction or kind of help you get through any struggles to get to where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially with injuries, it's like I had to find what else I'm good at in life, let alone just jujitsu, changing my game based on physical limitations, but also knowing that over time, as long as you're training, you peel back those limitations more and more. So since the time that I was injured to now, completely different people. You know what I mean? And then same thing in life. Like whenever I'm at a job that I don't want to be at, it's like I know there's always just something out there that's gonna work out for me because I've put so much time and sacrifice into something like jujitsu and also coaching that besides that, you also learn how to build relationships with people. And we go back to ADHD. I think the secret is not, for me personally, not being diagnosed. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but I definitely don't plan everything. Some things just fall into place perfectly, and I, something beyond me. I gotta say, God's with me in a lot of these things because there's just there's like no other way to explain some opportunities that get placed in my lap. You know what I mean? But you got to also say yes when those opportunities come.
It's funny. A big theme of this season, I feel like, has been a lot of people saying the same thing, and that's that you have to say yes to opportunity. You have to kind of respond when opportunity knocks. But more than that, it's also about having a positive energy and a positive outlook on life. Even when things feel negative or you want to be negative, it's more advantageous, I guess the word is, to stay positive and stay like it's that law of attraction. You bring what you want. You know what I mean? Or you bring what you put out. If all you put out is negativity, all you're gonna get back is that negativity. And if all you have is negativity, find a way to at least add a sprinkle of positivity at the end of it. If that's all you have right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got, but you're gonna attract what you put out.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, that's another thing that I've noticed with jujitsu as well. Is like you're only gonna get as much as you give in terms of like energy. If you're trying to roll like uh, someone who's trying to kill everyone, it's like you're not gonna make a lot of friends that way. Obviously, you don't have to. You don't have to, but it helps to be nice. Like to be nice to people who can definitely dismember you if they turned on that other level. It's like there's definitely people that need to learn the hard way, unfortunately. But I try to stay out of that sort of thing in terms of training and just avoid those roles if I ever see a bull coming through my china shop.
You know, it's funny is I've traveled around a bit and everyone's kind of when I first started traveling, people would warn me and be like, yo, there's gonna be people who are gonna see you're from a different gym and they're gonna give you a hard time when you visit. I've never experienced that. I've also gone into all the gyms I've always visited with a very humble attitude. First thing I do is always greet the coach, always bow on and off the mats. Anyone you roll with, introduce yourself, be super respectful. Um, but yeah, I've never experienced like the raging bull in the China shop yet, and I think I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah, that unfortunately has happened. Oh, you got something, Jeremy? Okay.
No, I was just agreeing that yeah, no, I've definitely dealt with the raging bull when trying to chop, like walking into a new gym and then yeah, they hear that you're 115 and you do kung fu as your main style, and yeah, no, generally they don't like that so much. So I think it depends too, though. Like there's not many. You would think that there being less gyms in the Midwest, they would not want to do shit like that as much and like push people away. But yeah, no, I see both sides of it. It's a learning experience too, though, to go through and figure out how to deal with that pressure in a foreign environment. But how do I handle this professionally, but make sure I'm good too? So
Dude, that's crazy. I just noticed your accent. I didn't even register that. So But yeah, I mean, I could see anywhere being the nicest place ever, and also other places being like very, territorial. Because like even I don't know, when I went to Paris, I didn't really get met with anything like that. There were some tough roles, and if I learned anything from like you know say like Craig Jones tours and seminars, it's like it's not the worst if you just get submitted in another country. It's not the worst. Like when are they ever gonna see you again?
Who cares? I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
if you're training and you're in your, I feel like there are some people who will not submit, no
Yeah, no,
matter.
I have no ego with that sort of thing. That's how you get into trouble, in the sport.
Even if I think I have something and someone's like that, I just let go and move on to the next thing. I'm not gonna break your leg over some stupid petty shit in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. I'd definitely rather like let go on a submission than break someone, because it's like, and then it makes your gym look bad, makes you look bad. It's just not worth it.
No, no. I
I'd
mean,
rather just like cut the roll. I'd rather just be like, all right, it's been nice. you know.
Jeremy got to see me lose for the first time at Rolling Stoners this weekend, and I had a nice saddle. I had the guy. I had good positional control. But I stopped defending the heel hook that he kept trying to grab for because I thought I had his heel, and I'm starting to turn on it, and then I feel mine starting to turn, and I'm like, no, I got to drive home. I'm good.
Yeah, fuck
But
that. I mean, not worth it.
no, it's never.
I was gonna look into that, because we had someone who was on that, Chris Sykes. I think he was on, one of our white belts might have been on that.
Sykes, hold on. Let's see.
I don't know if it was that one or he was on a different show that weekend, but that kid competes like crazy. He's a beast. He wrestled as well in New Jersey, but yeah, I mean, I would
This
have
guy?
been. We got. Yeah, it's him.
Okay, I think Jeremy, was that the guy that blew the smoke at the end of his
Oh
match?
yeah, that was him. Yeah, that was
Okay.
him.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, that kid's a beast, man. He definitely. I don't know. Maybe he'll be sandbagging as a white belt for a little longer, but no, I'm just kidding. He like just started training less than a year ago, so
What
he's got
the
a little time.
what the fuck?
Yeah, but I brought him with my coach too. Like, so when he learns the legs, when he learns how to get comfortable in guard, it's gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna
keep
be
him
fun.
away from me. Keep him away
Yeah,
from the vision.
yeah. I would have been so jet lagged if I did that event, but it looked fun.
As Rolling Stoners is always a great one to come out to. Unfortunately, they're not doing another one till I think next year.
Hmm.
They're taking a little brief hiatus, if I remember correctly, which is really unfortunate because it's one of my favorite events to attend. Mainly just for the community. I think everyone that goes there is super cool and super chill. There's never any like, there's never really any. Actually, there's only been one beef ever once, and it was some hothead, and he was angry because this guy beat both him and his brother. Like his brother wanted to compete against him to avenge his other brother, and like then he ended up losing, and then they were like all angry about it. It was
There's
ridiculous.
always something. There's always something. In my our last tournament, a kid's mom like ran onto the mat. I was like, ah, shit. Yeah, yeah. We had one of those. I mean, honestly, I don't know. We didn't make it go viral or anything, but it could have been like a viral sort of thing.
You can send it over.
Ah! I gotta find the footage, but honestly, like,
We'll blur out the kid's face. Parents get no mercy.
nah, the mom's got to get blurred out too, bro. I think we'd get we would get
I don't know. If it was a public event in a public facility, it's a
it's for
public
yeah.
event.
I would just rather be respectful. That was really
Tell me the school. We'll FOIA request the video.
no, definitely not. Definitely. I think you'll lose that battle if you knew what school.
All right, all right.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely we have some good times at those tournaments. Actually, we had food. We had like people cooking outside the last time. We had like kebabs. I was like I was like, give me. I was on commentary, but You know, have
That's
to.
what we need more of. We need jujitsu and barbecue. Can't go wrong with that until someone gets sick.
Yeah, right.
Perfect Midwest event. What do you mean? This needs to happen now.
We can get some good old Kentucky barbecue going.
If you guys need sponsorships, I can help you out there.
All right. Actually, I don't know. What do you, depending on what you're doing, maybe we can work something out. Because I got a side project we are looking for sponsors on, that
Okay.
maybe you'd be interested in. We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Just let me know.
Any viewers should definitely keep an eye out for Jmurrayathletics. There might be a little event coming your way sometime soon. But my friend, we are running on 35 minutes. Normally at this time, I like to play a little game we call trivia. Unfortunately, I forgot as I'm saying this to pull up some videos. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. This is where I start talking and rambling until I have found videos to use. Oh, here's one. I hope you like movies. Jeremy knows the movie already. Because you're right next to New York City. This one will be good for you. We're gonna give you some New York City trivia.
Okay, great.
And let's see.
I feel
Ooh,
like I would take this time to clarify. I am near New York. I'm from New Jersey. But my mom's from Brooklyn. She's, she reps New York pretty heavy.
all right. Well, that's a little bit better. Unfortunately, we don't talk about the armpit of America here on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to
I'm
stir
just
the
kidding.
pot here. I want to know the difference. What's the biggest difference between New York and New Jersey?
Don't say that. Stop. Just don't. No.
It's gonna get my friend upset, but everyone leaves New York to go to New Jersey and do goes to do what they can do in New York, in New Jersey, for a little bit more tax. I will say our tax is insane. Our cost of living is insane.
Are you guys able to still find M&Ms with Chris Christie running around?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. I tried to not pay attention to at that time. I was too involved in other things to pay attention to Christie. But yeah, Phil Murphy, apparently he's doing a number on the state, from what I understand.
Not a number enough that I've heard of them.
Right.
All right, let's do some trivia, my man. Dalton.
The pizza's better.
Whoa, okay, go ahead. No, slow down, Dalton. Don't start. Whoa. Just to be clear, these are fighting terms. These are
that's them's fighting words, my friend.
But again, the fine print.
I'm pretty sure if I try to throw hands right now, I'm protected by fighting laws or fighting words.
Yeah, the fine print of that is that a lot of them came from New York too, though. Like
you're just benefiting from our water, sir.
Yeah, that's it. I know my local guy does get it from Staten Island.
They learned how to make a good pizza in New York and then found someplace better to go to. Got it.
That's
it. All right. Let's do some trivia. Dalton, go ahead, pull us. I'll cut my camera here. Where am I?
Also Wawa.
You do have Wawas. I don't know what that is though.
It's the best damn thing ever.
In Kickboxer, 1989, who played the Muay Thai trained fighter avenging his brother?
It's gonna be A. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Alrighty then. You are correct, my friend.
Oos.
Impromptu. Nice. All right. What is the original name of New York City?
A. New Amsterdam.
God damn you.
What you got?
You are acing this quiz, my man. And our last question. Which UFC fighter held the belt the longest? This is consistently.
Okay.
Should I pause this one?
No, I mean B. John Jones.
Are you sure?
Positive.
My friend?
Wrong.
It was Anderson Silva.
No, I was getting I was definitely thinking about his separate title reigns. I forgot that he lost those also when you think about PEDs, that would have been an easy one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, John Jones, he got his belt stripped a couple times, I believe, whereas Anderson Silva did not.
Can't
But
be perfect.
you had a nice streak there, man. I was surprised you knew the kickboxing one, and then I thought we were gonna throw you off with the New York City one. Most people don't know the original name of New York, so I was impressed there.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a Jersey guy, right?
Not bad, not bad. All right, my man. Do you have any social media, any promotions, sponsors, anything you want to plug at all? Now's the time. You're more than welcome to give it a shout out. We can pull it up or whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be working with those gyms, Ambush as well as Ascend Jiu Jitsu, which is Denise's gym. I'm gonna be working with him as well as my guy Brad. I'm gonna be working with Comebatch.live to get sponsorships going for finishers open their 21st open. That's in September 27th. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, definitely open to sponsorships for myself as well. I'm looking to get a couple by the time Money in the Bank rolls around. So
Good luck. Good luck. I hope you find someone good, my man.
thanks, brother.
All right. Well, if there was nothing else, my man, without further ado, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Jmurrayathletics podcast or JMA podcast. Make sure you guys check out our store where we have a bunch of phenomenal products. We released a bunch of hoodies, shoes. I also have skateboards available as well as supplements. You guys can get your pre workout, your athlete energy, and your protein for recovery. We got great deals at affordable prices. You're not going to beat them. Sign up for the VIP section and you get 10% discount. Guys, till next time, this has been the JMA podcast. Corey Fernandez. Guys, stay best. Peace.
Peace.